All right, we're live here with the roster edit of the Eagles here. And this is something you might want to have on in the background here. I'm going to be talking on again, off again. If you hear noise in the background, that's just my roommates being rascals. But yeah, if you got some questions about stuff, it might be in the FAQs in the description there. And then, yeah, I'll probably be talking on again, off again. I'm not going to have my eyes on the chat the entire time, but I'll try and see when you guys comment. And this stream better freaking work because all right, it looks like we're good though. I've had so many problems streaming. It's been so frustrating. If at any point the stream is bad, I probably won't notice, so just comment. I'm bouncing between screens on my computer, looking through all the various analytics and stuff for guys. 55 stiff arm for Wentz. I think a lot of these physical traits for Wentz are underselling what he can do. What did they screw up about trading in franchise? No more trade meter? Huh. I would assume the trade logic is the same, though. They just don't show you how close you are. Weird. Yeah, right? Like, these are so low. I feel like Foles shown that he's almost more accurate deep than short. Full right sleeve. Can do that. This is what you guys are here for. Jai, what do I do with you? I feel like 86 is a little high. Full's throw power went up 1, Trayvon. Even though it's probably... I think 84 is probably better for Jai. Although I think he's more explosive than this. I forgot to do traits for those quarterbacks. I can't say I know of any other British NFL players. Check the description, Alvin. I feel like, didn't Blunt actually kind of catch the ball this year? Let's see. Played on 118 passing downs. Let's see. He had 8 catches on 8 targets for 50 yards. So he didn't drop the ball. It's the kind of thing I don't understand. Like, why 25 spectacular catch? I feel like LeGarrette Blount deserves the clutch trade. He really shows up when it matters. All right, Bill, white undershirt it is. I'm not going to do this for every single player, though, just a heads up. Players change their accessories so often. Stop and save this thing. Go Eagles, man. Made me look good this year. Darren Sproles. Is he even returning? Or is he retiring? He has not announced yet, it looks like. Can't believe he only has 86 speed. That's kind of insulting. I know he's more agility than speed, but Corey Clement. Know he had a good Super Bowl, but that's 78's a little high for me. How did he grade out as a receiver outside of the one amazing catch he had in the Super Bowl? Jeez. His ratings are so ridiculously average, and then they're like super good just from the Super Bowl. I think 67's about right there. Hoping this will be about 73. Oh, that's too high. I don't know if one good Super Bowl performance is enough to warrant clutch. Oh, that's why it's his carrying is off the charts. All right, I still want this to come down just a touch. I do like him, but he didn't really prove too much this year. That's probably good. I didn't think he was all that good in Wisconsin either. I don't think he hits holes that hard. I think he's just a really nice, smart player. Knows where he stands, but is never going to be a stud. Kind of like James White, who's also from Wisconsin. I'm assuming the hidden ratings thing is not fixed, which is very unfortunate. What's Donnell Pumphrey's size? I always forget. Because I'm pretty sure he's like a twig. He's like 181 or something. He's 170. Jeez. At that size, the injury is definitely a concern. He can be higher than the 70, though. In college, he did show like some good like power considering his size, but you'd also like to think that's not going to translate all that well. God, the Eagles have a lot of running backs that are somewhat relevant. Smallwood basically lost his whole job, right? Or did he get hurt? I can't remember. Let's see. Well, he was healthy at the end of the year. I think he just isn't that good. I don't know what that means, Trayvon. Really, you think Smallwood's better than Pumphrey? We haven't even seen Pumphrey play. I mean, Pumphrey's supposed to be like the Darren Sproles replacement. He could definitely be that. He's not going to be a feature back, obviously, but he could definitely. I think Pumphrey could have his role in the NFL much more realistically than Smallwood. Barner's just special teams, right? He doesn't actually play on offense. He only played 76 snaps on offense, 50 in the passing game. And he did not grade out well in any of those. So this is 72 is too high for him. that looks pretty good. "25 minutes in, and we were done with 2 position groups. No fullback, so we're done with 3 position groups. Teams that people want to see. I'll leave that to the people watching. All right, so this is one thing I'm trying to keep consistent here is strength among receivers. I'm trying to find the sweet spot for the drafted guys that come in, because I think like the strongest receivers that come in have like 79 strength. Does that sound right before I edit this? From you guys who obviously play a lot of franchise too? Because Alshon Jeffrey should be among the strongest receivers, and I don't think any receiver should have over 81 strength. Has anyone seen a drafted receiver over 80 strength? The only receiver I think could have over 80 is Julio Jones, because he's just so hard to bring down and blocks so well that I think he deserves it. And he uses his body so well. All right, so I think 79 is good for Jeffrey. It's a good baseline to use, too, for when I do create the rookies. I think Jeffrey accelerates better than... I think he accelerates better than he is quick or his straight line speed. So I think that should actually be a 90. And that's too high. See, I think that's too high for Marshall. I think Mike Evans should be right here with Alshon Jeffrey. All right. That's good to know. Also trying to keep run blocking consistent across the board. You know, 64 run block for receiver, especially with the way run blocking plays in this game. That's pretty crazy. But I also want to make sure it's consistent with the guys coming in. I think that is pretty consistent, where like 60 to 65 is going to be about as high as you see. So Jeffrey had a slightly below average run blocking grade, so I think that's a little high. This is the other thing I never understood, is why these guys have such bad kick return. Like, is it worth it for me to raise these? Like, I feel like Jeffrey could at least return it, but it's not like this rating really matters all that much either. So I feel like I'm just going to leave that. I don't know. I think 77 is about right for AJ Green. Elusiveness. Alshon used to be super elusive with Adam Gase when he would run those like bubble screens, but I feel like he doesn't do that as much anymore. This definitely needs to go up. I know he stayed healthy, but let's not forget the Alshon Jeffrey of old and the reason he only got a one-year deal. I'll give him clutch, though. He makes some big-time plays. And I guess high motor. Why not? $88. I like $87 for Jeffrey. You think AJ Green has scrawny arms? I don't know if I'd use the word scrawny. They're not like Julio Jones-esque, but let's see. Maybe you're right. I don't know. I don't think they're scrawny. I'm looking at a few pictures. He's got some big arms. When I think of scrawny arms, I think of like Zay Jones. Although he's gotten a little bigger since college. No, he doesn't really have scrawny arms. How about John Ross? Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's all subjective. What up, C Shout? $84 for Aguilar. Wow. Guess I shouldn't be surprised because any receiver who has started a game in the NFL is apparently better than a 77 in this game. 90 aware. What? That alone will drop him way down. Yeah, I mean, everyone and their mothers played better this year in Philadelphia. That team was the definition of outstanding surrounding core and coaching. So Aguilar actually has really good run block grades, much better than Jeffrey. If you want to support me on Patreon, you can follow the link there, and should be an option to be. Let's see. Let's go to the Follow the link and see what you guys would look at. I think that's a link to one of my posts. So if you follow that, let's see. Here, I'm actually going to link a different one in there. Hopefully this updates as I do this here. All right, you can try that new link, and then there's the option for become a patron. And yeah, if you contribute any dollar amount, I will do your choice of doing your team next, or I will do your team earlier when I do the rebuilds. Otherwise, I'm just going in order of draft board. So if you're a Browns fan and you think you're going to be sneaky by seeing your team first, you might get passed up if you don't support me on Patreon. And once you do it, make sure I see. I don't know how that all is going to work out once you do it. So make sure you let me know, because I do appreciate it a lot. This is a lot of work, so any support financially is always good. What's up, TJV? Yeah, realistic rebuilds. I could just pull a complete 180 on my channel and just do the most unrealistic rebuild possible. Jeez, Aguilar's being stubborn here. I want him to be 78. He's so good after the catch. I feel like that's where he makes his money for sure. There we go. Torrey Smith. And for the Patreon thing, I know it says you can start with $1. If you do more than that, I will do yours first in order of how much you pledge. There's another franchise guy. Is he cooler than me? Yeah, I think Smith at like a 74 is actually pretty good. I think that's what I have him in the other one. He had a really, really, really bad year. Like, he had a good Super Bowl and a good playoff performance, so he showed up when it counted, but throughout the year, he was not good. This is too high. He's got a bad run block grade. I never thought Torrey Smith was actually that good after the catch. Like, I know he's a good deep threat, but I feel like he's never really been like a shifty dude after the catch. He makes some big-time catches, though. I'll give him that. I might even give him the clutch trait. He's good for those Ravens back in the day. He was really good in this Super Bowl. Good release. Not a good route runner, though. Yeah, he does have the drops open passes trait. I'll leave that. I'm gonna give him clutch though. Oh, there we go, right on the dot. 74. Mac Hollins. First thing I do with this guy. Special teams, baby. This guy was basically drafted because of his special teams. It's unfortunate you don't get receivers in it, punt and stuff, because I'm pretty sure he's a gunner. But he'll get in on kickoff. I'm going to do a big roster update video after this is all done. Probably not, honestly. I don't know what I would say in there that isn't already covered, because most of these ratings have already been talked about. It's just doing them all over again and making sure stuff like this is consistent across the board. I will definitely do one when I get the rookies done, though. That's for sure. And then I'll be doing like my top 10 players at each position in the draft. Right now I've done my draft board for quarterbacks, running backs, receivers, and edge rushers. So I'm a little under halfway done. So Hollins actually didn't block that well this year, but he did block really well in college, so we'll give him some slack. This is too high, though. (6'4", 221). That's a big boy. Dante Pettis? I haven't done him yet. What position is he? Do I like Mayfield? No, but he's slowly growing on me. I originally said Case Keenum is his comparison. He has a stronger arm than Case Keenum. Slightly. I don't think he has a rocket arm, but I don't think it's going to limit him as much as it's limited Case. I think he should go. I think he's going to go earlier than he should. But that said, he could still be pretty damn good. As with pretty much anyone, it just depends where he goes. Oh, Pettis out of Washington. I have him really low on my draft board, to be honest. I think he's way too skinny. Sometimes I lose track of all these guys' names. I only spend so much time on each guy. Let's see. I have him. Let me pull up my draft board. I'm thinking about trying to decide if I want to just make my draft board available to everyone or if I want to try and sell it to like Fansided or somewhere. Let's see. Pettis at receiver. I have why can't I see him? There he is. I have him as the 32nd overall receiver with a 6th round grade. And my draft notes on him. We got very light. I'd be concerned with his size and strength. Should / better run well / sub 4.4s. Feisty player, good at tracking the ball, but I don't see him as much more than depth as a wide receiver 4 or 5 and special teams contributor. So long shot to be a deep threat / catch and run guy, but I think he's too small and I don't think he's going to separate that well. All right, Bryce Traggs. Back to the roster. Did not play. So what is he on their practice squad? Our Lads. Ooh, I like this. Our Lads has updated everything. So there's no more practice squad. It's just futures contracts. And then they highlight in red every player that's set to be a free agent. I really like that. That's cool. You guys should check that out. So let's see. Looks like Traggs isn't even on their futures deals. We'll leave him for now, obviously, but regardless, 68 seems way too high. I do remember him in college, though. He was part of that Jared Goff, California squad. speedy guy. Tregs had snaps last year? Not according to PFF. Was it for a different team? Let's see. Let me search his name. Ah, he had snaps for Cleveland. And he didn't do that well, but he at least played, so I'll come back on this just a little bit. Where do I think Kirk Cousins should go? From his perspective, I think his best fit would probably be, man, that's that's a good question. Denver's a good one for sure. Marcus Johnson, who is this? He actually played and didn't suck. Might just trust Madden for the most part on this one. Let's look this guy up. Marcus Johnson, Texas. Let's see, probably not a combine. Does he have combine grade? Let's see. No, so let's see if he has a draft or workout scores. Pro day, I guess. And a 4.39. 22 bench reps. 6'1", 204. Huh. Interesting. I'm surprised I never heard of this guy. Decent run blocker. And then Shelton Gibson. He barely played too. He was like a 6th round pick, wasn't he? Kind of your classic West Virginia guy here. Whoa, 40 strength. It's 5'11", 191. .93 speed. What did he run, I wonder? He only ran a 4.5. But his 3-cone was really good. I feel like he's rated kind of poorly. Like, he should be more like 91 speed, but accelerate and have better agility. Something like that. Seems much better. All right, receivers done. Quarterback through receivers definitely is the most time consuming. As we're now an hour into this. We've stopped for some distractions, though, that's for sure. All right, Zach Ertz. What a year for Ertz. I mean, he's not the strongest receiver or tight end, but this is something I never truly understood. Like, if Alshon Jeffrey's 79 strength, I don't see how Zach Ertz can be that much lower. I think with this update, a trend I'm going to have here is much lower awareness, but higher run blocking for these guys, because the rookies coming in franchise mode are like crazy good run blockers. Like, you see mid 70s, low 80 run blockers right out the gate. For Patreon, thanks, Alvin. Let me see if it did anything. Looks like you're in there. Let's see. Alvin Dion. Appreciate it, man. Who's your favorite team? And do you want, since you're my first one, I'll do your team next and do your rebuild first. That's how much it means to me. right, Zach Ertz. Actually, a really bad blocker. Vikings. All right. Are you from Minnesota? Only thing I know is that it's cold. How's it compare to living in LA? Little Dicky reference for those that didn't get that one. Trey Burton, I saw you're from New England. Why are you a Vikings fan? I think Trey Burton is a realistic free agent target for Seattle with Jimmy Graham and Luke Wilson's contract expiring. That answer is going to depend on what I see from his run block grade here, which is below average. I'm going to go with no, because I think they're best suited to just beef up front. Personally, I don't really think they need receiving threats. I think their problem is in their blocking. Grew up watching AP. Same here. Grew up surrounded by Vikings fans in Minneapolis. As a Packers fan. But we'll do, man. I'll do Vikings next, and I will do their rebuild first. And you will get a shout out in the video as my very first supporter on Patreon. So thank you, Alvin. Shout out to you. Good run blocking tight ends in free agency that I think Seattle might target. Let me pull up the free agent list because I don't know all of them off the top of my head. All I know is Jimmy Graham and Trey Burton are like the top two. And Jimmy Graham's actually proved to be a pretty good blocker. I think Green Bay or New Orleans are like locks for Jimmy Graham. I think they'll both be interested. I think it's a good fit. The only problem with New Orleans is they're still paying Fleener, so I don't know if they're going to want to do that. All right, upcoming tight ends. We're getting really distracted here. The Eagles is going to be a long one, but it's all right. We're having fun. Virgil Green could be a good fit there. He's a good blocker. Zach Miller is available. Anthony Fasano is one of the best blockers in the NFL. I would say those three right there would be good ones. Tyler stumbled there. Tyler Eifert is a free agent. I did not know that. That's going to be interesting because he's got serious injury problems. Troy Nicholas. out of Arizona. Darren Fells. All these guys would be good. Good signings for Seattle, I think. I don't think they necessarily need an expensive guy there. I don't think that's a good investment for them. I think Jimmy Graham proved that. Awesome, Alvin. You've been around since the get-go. You were probably watching my videos back when I was ripping Cam Newton coming out of his MVP season. That was like the first video I made, I think. I was just shredding Cam Newton. Me thinking he was overrated actually played a big role in me creating this channel because I wanted to get that opinion out there because the world was just drinking the Cam Kool-Aid nonstop and I could not stand it anymore. And now everyone can't stand him just like I couldn't 2 years ago. And not just his attitude. I didn't think he was that good of a football player. I feel like 72 strength for Selleck's kind of low. Jeez, he did not have a good year. Very bad run blocking. How old is he? Born in 85, so he's getting up there. He's like 34. So maybe he's just kind of losing it. It's one thing to be big, but you still got to be able to use your body. He still played quite a bit, though. 540 snaps this year. See, I get that this is a situation where, like, I get that his grades are low, but you don't play 500 snaps without being a, like, big receiver at tight end if your team and your coach still doesn't think you can block okay. So his was like low 50s. That's pretty crazy. He's definitely not releasing off the line of scrimmage anymore, though. I don't think Zach Miller's injury is going to be career-ending. I know it sounded really bad for a while, like they might have to amputate his leg, but everything I've heard is that he's on the recovery, but I guess I haven't looked that far into it. Breno Giacomini to Seattle. Seems reasonable. So another thing I'll say here is part of the reason I'm redoing the roster is as I do the updates throughout the week, that's obviously a during season opinion of the guy. Now I can take what we've seen this year and apply it to going forward. So like Jason Peters gets the injury, he's going to be 36. His rating might be a little lower now than it was during the season where I probably didn't lower him when he got hurt. So that's kind of another reason we redo it here. There's all kinds of reasons. So, like, his physical traits are going to come down because of the regression now, coming off an injury. I'm not going to give everyone regression like Madden. I'm not going to make Julio Jones lose 2 speed and everything because he's turning 29. That's just preposterous. But, you know, the injury is definitely a concern. It was an Achilles at 36. That's going to be tough. Biggest move of the offseason. What do I think it will be is probably wherever Kirk Cousins lands. Yeah. Personally, like storyline wise, that is. Personally, I don't think that's going to make as big of an impact on the NFL. Like I'm just not that high on Kirk Cousins. Like I don't think if he goes to Denver, all of a sudden they're Super Bowl contenders. I think they need to build up that offensive line and fix their play calling. Oh boy, Hal Vaitai was not good this year. Holy smokes. Wow. He was really not good. That's one of the worst grades I've seen. Okay, that's too low, though. He's still got in people's way. Yeah, that's just insane. That's just stupid money. Will Beatty, what did he do? He was behind. Yeah, he didn't really play. .45 rating on PFF. Yep, that translates to about a 60 overall in Madden. Did Suamelo play? Again, pretty much all these offensive line ratings, I am outsourcing to PFF. I'll incorporate some opinions based on their contract and their past year's performance. It's not going to be quite as overreactive to one good year as the original EA roster. But PFF is throwing literally thousands of eyes at each snap that these guys take. I'd be dumb not to use that as a heavy reference here. And I can't show you the ratings I'm looking at because they're Edge subscription, you know, something I have access to as a PFF employee that I can't share, but just have to take my word for it as I do the offensive lineman, I guess. Did anyone see Kelsey's speech? I thought it was pretty awesome. Geez, 98 run block. Wow. An Edge subscription. That is a good question. I think I don't fully know because there's different levels. So Edge does not give you access to what I'm looking at now that I say that. But Edge is good. You can get the general ratings, which show like the 44 grade like you were talking about for a Fetty. That's only $3.99 a month, so that's actually come down. That's actually a really good deal. And then there's PFF Elite, which is $200 a year, but I honestly don't know if that even includes what I have access to, if I'm being honest. Let's see. So if I go back to my... Yeah, I don't think so. I have access to premium stats, which I believe are actually just exclusive for like NFL teams and college programs and stuff. Gosh, the right side of this line was fun to watch this year, weren't they? Don't know why his pass block is higher than his run block, to be honest. Yeah, dude, the Eagles' line was absolutely nuts. I like, too, how they were able to help. Once Peters went down, they really helped out Suomelo on the left side with a lot of, like, blocking help. That left side was suspect, but God, that right side between Kelsey, Brooks, and Johnson. What happened with Chance Warmack? Did he get benched, I wonder, or did he get hurt? He got benched because he was healthy for most of the year. This is actually probably pretty accurate here. Has he ever graded out well as a run blocker? He hasn't graded out well as a run blocker since 2014. I feel like this is an example of a guy not using the raw strength that he has, so I'm going to lower that a little bit. I don't know. He's not like miserable, but he's definitely not that good. 70, it probably actually had him pretty fair there. That's my thoughts on Robbie Anderson. Dude's an idiot, I'll say that much. Talented football player, room to grow, but I feel like there's a chance he like could get kind of ousted. What am I doing here? Why am I raising this? Distracted talking about Robbie Anderson and his stupid ass. Pretty funny what he said to the cop when he got pulled over. I don't know if funny is the right word, but is this Dave? Who am I editing? I'm not paying attention at all. Josh Andrews. I'm just going to discard these changes. All right. Didn't play. 3-year vet. Is he on a futures deal? What's his situation here? He's not listed on the depth chart, so I'm just going to assume this is good. And Darryl Green as well. He's actually on the depth chart. What's Josh Andrews' deal here? Is he just a free agent? Should I just release him? Currently a free agent. We're just going to release him. All right, and then Darryl Green. Never played, but he's on the roster. Not a practice squad guy, so we'll raise him just a touch. If you earn a 53-man roster spot, in general, you get about a 64 on my roster. Because that alone is an accomplishment to make a roster, especially a talented roster like Philadelphia. You know, if you make the Browns, that might be like a 62 quota for making the roster. But you make this Eagles O-line, and you're at least somewhat good. Yeah, I don't understand why you can't practice squad anyone, because that's not... I don't think that's a restriction in real life. As far as I understand, because there's like 26, 27-year-old players on practice squads. 88 strength for Lane Johnson. He's definitely earned better than that. Jeez, 81 speed. I feel like that's a little excessive there. Gosh, he even has catching ability. That's nuts. Like, what would his tight end grade be? I bet he'd be like a 99 overall tight end. Let's check just for fun. Let's see what he is as a tight end. Oh, I can't change him. And I think I lost my... God, this game's stupid sometimes. Can't change him because there's too many... Or not enough tackles there. So we're just going to have to get over it. But I love how it doesn't even warn me. Like, it just lets me do it, and then it goes back, and it didn't save anything I touched. All right. Man, this one's taking a lot longer. You guys are distracting me too much. What ratings did I give to Wentz and Foles? 80 and 74. If you want to, I think I turned on DVR on here so you can actually go back and look if you want to see what I specifically changed, but there's Wentz and Foles. So 74, that's actually me saying that I have faith in Foles, considering I had Case Keenum as a 73, and there's starting quarterbacks that I give a 74. Like, I think I give Tyrod a 74. So that's actually me saying I think Foles is going to be decent. Okay, I need to fill up my water. Water break. I'll be back in 45 seconds. We back. It's good stuff. A little H2O onto the defense. What should I get for lunch, guys, after I finish the Eagles? Chipotle? Oh, 86 strength per gram? That is insulting. This dude is freaking monster. He's one of the most... He has some of the best raw strength of any player in the NFL, I would say. I think 93 is good. He's a little smaller, but he gets under your shoulder pads, you can forget about it. Also accelerates pretty dang well. I do think he's still kind of one-dimensional. Like, he's good in run defense and will absolutely bull rush the crap out of you. He does what he does very well, but I don't think he's super diverse. But, like, this needs to be the highest in the game. He has the best power you'll ever see. Some finesse, but he's mostly just going to run you over. Arby's? Maybe. His 62 zone. Was he actually used in coverage? Let's see. It doesn't... Looks like occasionally. Let's see. Snap summary. He played 8 out of 822 snaps were in coverage. And he just kind of existed. He didn't... I think that's a little high. I feel like he could catch a little bit. What does Brandon Graham think when he looks at his card? He's like, all right. Strength, that's a little low, but yeah, good pass rush. And then 20 catching? Like, dude's an athlete. I think he can catch a football if it's thrown his way at least a little bit. This can go up. See if he has clutch. He definitely earned that. Yep. So let's see. Spin, swim. I kind of disagree on the spin move, but I guess I haven't like totally dove into his tape in depth to see if he does that. I'll trust Madden on this one. If there's any Eagles fans watching, if you disagree with my analysis on Brandon Graham that he's pretty much just the bull rush, let me know. And I will certainly dial up some Brandon Graham tape. Which, that is pretty stupid that I can't actually edit the bull rush trait, which is frustrating. I don't understand why swim and spin are in there, but bull rush is not. Whatever. Thanks, Madden. Will these ratings be transitioned to my Madden 19 roster before the preseason? More or less, yes. I will do the same process for Madden 19. So obviously opinions will change and stuff as we go, but these will be the final ratings for Madden 18, unless I see something that I absolutely have to go change. But once I finish all these teams, that will be the final rating until we get to Madden 19. And then my opinions might change a little bit, but for the most part, these ratings are going to be how I view these players going into next year. All right, Chris Long. Surprisingly good this year. What was his rating? 80? 81? I think he takes a step down just because I feel like all these guys kind of fed off each other. I don't think Chris Long alone is an 81. I think he has the skill set to capitalize on opportunities. So he's actually... That's weird. Says he has a 2-year contract. I don't know why, but it says he's a 2-year contract, but on his second year. Did he not just re-sign with Philly this year? All right, let's see here. Strictly pass rush. Did not contribute in run defense very much. One-dimensional guy. Let's see. Now, isn't Chris Long more finesse? I almost want to flip these. When I think of Chris Long, I think of tactful, not overpowering, you know? This is where I need my Eagles fans to chip in. I mean, he's definitely not overpowering. I'm going to do it. I'm going to go 2 less strength. I think they've gotten him wrong. Also, they should add tats next year, because Chris Long has some sleeves on him. see, coverage. Actually played somewhat in coverage this year. Not really. He played 7 snaps. So that works for me. I think he's earned a clutch. He's been a big-time player for them. 77, right on the dot. That's where I want him. Brian Brahman. That's a name I haven't heard in a long time. I didn't know he was on this team. He used to be kind of relevant, didn't he? Wasn't he? Did he used to be on the Eagles way back in the day? No, I don't know what I'm saying. He's never really been relevant. He played 12 snaps this year. Played 2 snaps last year. Played 16 snaps in 2015. So I don't know why he's a 69 overall, to be honest. Seems like just another dude. Come on, one more, buddy. There we go. Question is, will we finish the Eagles before this stream hits the 2-hour mark? Maybe. All right, Vinny Curry. Is he not a free agent this year as well? Looks like he has one more year. It's pretty nuts. This team has so many edge rushers. It's stupid. I think 81 for Curry is a good sweet spot for him. What do they have his block shed at? 84? It's pretty balanced. He does play pretty good. I think he's slightly better. Just going to do that and that. Might still be too high. Let's see. Oh, geez, that brought him up. Okay. Maybe he should be more like an 83 because he is pretty balanced. But, you know, if you get over 83, we're starting to get into that, like, you know, this dude's a freaking, like, absolute stud. Not that Curry isn't, but I think he's somewhere between above average starter and star. Cool. Derek Barnett, I love him. He could be a huge like breakout candidate next year. But with Vinny Curry coming back, who knows? I think 77 is actually pretty good. Now this is, I mean, Derek Barnett was one of the more polished, finessey guys I've seen as a prospect. He might go up after this, but I'm okay with that. Oh, perfect. Steven Means. Did he play? He played 53 snaps. 63 or 69 seems a little high. This guy's just a replacement level dude. Didn't really make an impact. Was within a deep unit though, so we'll credit him for that. .69 strength though. I don't think any D lineman should have 69 strength. That's just crazy low. On a scale of 0 to 10, 10 JJ Watt in prime. I love that scale. That's great. I might use that. Leonard Williams. On a scale of 0 to 10, JJ Watt, 10 in his prime. Now, you're asking a guy who generally goes on the IMDb scale of ratings. My friends give me shit for that. Like, we could get out of a real... Or someone can make a really good joke, and I'll give it, like, a 7.8. Anyway. I'll give Leonard Williams a 7.3. On that scale. Take it or leave it. Fletcher Cox. This will be fun. I think this can go up. Someone that's that big of a load to handle deserves better strength than that. I think his agility is better than his speed. He accelerates extremely well. He's probably good there at 90 awareness. Maybe 91 awareness. He could be better at block shedding than he is, to be fair, but I think he's better than 83 block shed. But I also think he uses some skill to his game along with some power moves. So we're going to go like there. And that is insulting, 80 hit power. That's definitely a trend, like, in this roster. Hit power, much higher. Let's see. He played 67 of 75 snaps in the Super Bowl. Wow. That's incredible, guys. 67 of 75 snaps against Tom Brady. Wow. I almost want to give that like 99 stamina. That's unheard of. I mean, D linemen don't play that many snaps. I'll give it 98. Fletcher in my top 10 D tackles. Does that include J.J. Watt? Do we include spin move? Yeah, when I hear D tackle, I think of interior linemen. So 3-4 DNs, nose tackles, and D tackles in a 4-3. I think 96 is a little high for Fletcher. I think he's a 94. Strictly 4-3? Why limit it? Yeah. I'm just going to use Madden as a little aid here. Just to refresh here. So, I mean, obviously Donald's number one. If you want to include J.J. Watt on this list, he's number one when healthy. I don't think there's much argument there. And then I think you would say Geno Atkins second. I think Geno Atkins is extremely underrated. Then I would go Fletcher Cox third. And then probably Mike Daniels fourth. Mike Daniels fourth. And then, I mean, Damon Harrison's up there, but he's strictly run defense. K'Wan Short's definitely a candidate for fifth. Can make an argument for DeForest Buckner already, I think. I think those four, though, really stand apart. Fletcher Cox, Geno Atkins, Mike Daniels, and Aaron Donald. And then I would say, Cam Hayward right there with Mike Daniels. Chris Jones is a good candidate. Anyway, let's get back to the Eagles. I think by the end of next year, DeForest Buckner will for sure be in that list. But he kind of moves outside, too. He can come off the edge a little bit. Who is the most overrated player in football? Good question. thinking. I mean, coming into this year, it was Matt Ryan. Coming into last year, it was Cam Newton. I think it's easy for quarterbacks to be overrated because of the hype they get when they have such good surrounding core. Dez is kind of underutilized. I'm not very quick to say that he's overrated. 86 strength for Timmy Jernigan, really? We're definitely not hitting that 2-hour quota on this one. You guys are asking too many good questions. All right. Timmy Jernigan. What does that do there? 85? I think he should be 83. I think I might go with... Ooh. I'm leaning Kirk Cousins. I think Dak was absolutely overrated coming into this year. I made that very clear that I felt that way, but I think it's much more commonplace to say. He could definitely still be the most overrated player in football, though. Did you guys see the video of him throwing footballs with David Carr on NFL Network? And David Carr made him look like a high school freshman. Dak was missing like every throw. Bo Allen, Minnetonka High School, represent. Hometown, baby. One thing we do got to double check here, of course, is the fullback. Yep, they got his skills in there. The biggest surprise to me this year was absolutely the Jacksonville Jaguars, and it wasn't even close. Between them and the Denver Broncos, those were my bad calls this year. And even Denver, I thought, was pretty good out the gate. Like, they took a dump on Dallas. They beat the Chargers. Like, I think there's a world where their season is much more successful. But yeah, the Jags... I did not see that coming at all. I think I predicted them one win this year. I thought they were going to be terrible. But other than that, we had a really good year of predictions. Mainly this Eagles team. Destiny Vial. Why are you a 66? You didn't play. Right? Oh, yeah, he did. I'm just missing him. But he wasn't very good. I'm just going to leave him, honestly. Elijah Qualls. It's probably good as well. And Azishitu. What's your deal? You were injured. We'll raise you a touch. No, Alvin, as someone who's followed my channel, I'm surprised you got to ask that. I'm an avid supporter of Aaron Rodgers being not just the best player in football, but the best quarterback of all time. Donald is the biggest separation of talent. I mean, as the best D tackle, he's better than anyone. What's up? I'm live streaming, but what's up?
Do you want to come eat with us?
Where are you going?
Don't know. We're going to go to Target and find somewhere to eat. We ran some somewhere.
Where does eat at Target?
I would just go. I think I might go get Chipotle, so maybe if you go there, I'll meet you there. But do let me know. Are you going to Target first?
Yeah.
All right, let me know when you're done at Target and where you're headed. Because I'm going to be done with this in like 20, 30 minutes.
Okay.
So it could work out.
Okay.
Bye. Yeah, I mean, I try to be as unbiased as possible. And I think in the last 3 years, since, working for PFF and doing this channel and everything, I would like to say that I have been able to separate my bias. But obviously there's emotional investment that I've had in Rodgers. But I do think from a film perspective, he can do everything that any quarterback has ever done and some. I think he has the most natural, gifted arm any quarterback's ever had outside of... I've heard people whose opinion that I value say Elway and Marino had just as good, if not better, arms. Personally, I was 4 years old when Elway was winning Super Bowls. And even then, he was at the end of his career, and I was not born when Marino was playing, so I can't necessarily say to that. I will say that I chose to be a Packers fan because of Aaron Rodgers, and I very well could have chosen the same for Tom Brady, but I think Rodgers appeals to me more. Okay. Nigel Bradham, future free agent. Speaking of the Packers, this could be a signing here for the Packers because Bradham played under Mike Pettin in Buffalo. What is Bradham's overall? An 80? That's actually pretty good. I think he could probably be like a 79, but it's pretty nitpicky. Let's see. He only graded out okay. Where is he on this list anyway? Really good in coverage, but not the best in run defense. That's pretty crazy high there. 86 zone. That's a little too high. A little higher than I'm comfortable there. Where does that put him? 78. That's good. Yeah, that's a good point. And that's another thing with Green Bay is I always make the point on this channel that like Blake Martinez only grades out well in run defense because of that scheme and how good that D line is. But in a scheme like Philadelphia, where they're asking their D tackles to play the run defense, then it doesn't matter for the linebackers. Whereas in Green Bay, it makes it very easy for the linebackers to look good. And I think almost any linebacker in the NFL would look as good as Blake Martinez has in that scheme. Najee Good. This is the guy that got torched, right? No, that was who was that got just burnt on the first touchdown of the game? Ellerby, right? No, it was Good. Filling in for Ellerby. Yeah, dude, I hope Luck can come back. He is so fun. I'm bummed that McDaniels left, though, because I thought that was going to be a good pairing. So now Ellerby on the right. He should be. He's in this one now. I may have overlooked that on the other roster. Jordan Hicks. Definitely got to take that injury pretty low. Dude's such a stud, just can't stay on the field. He did kind of have a down year, technically speaking, but I still think he's a great player. Yeah, Jacoby Brissett was surprising this year, that's for sure. This could actually honestly be even lower because he's never really finished the season healthy, right? Well, I guess 2016 he did, and 2015. All right, that's a little low. We'll go with like. He's really just missed games here or there. It looks like this is the first year he's missed extended time. Now Ellerby, this is kind of whatever. I feel like he's not this athletic anymore, though. Barely played this year. Actually, was he a 65? Because that's probably good. He didn't. Yeah. 87 for Kendricks. Wow. I think that's a little high. I mean, he's good, but surrounding core. Kind of hard to get a body on Michael Kendricks, who is best when he's not blocked because he just flies around. Kind of hard to get a body on him when you got to take care of that front seven. I think that's way too high. I think he should be like 80 awareness. This could be a little higher, though. So, yeah, I don't think he's 86 block shed here. I think he's probably around there, 76. What did I have his awareness at? 80. He's a big hitter. Hmm, 82. I think that's better. Matt Harmon put Dak as #1 Q. That's just his stats, right? Like his completion percentage on tight window throws. I don't think he's saying he's the best at it. It's just a situation where the stats happen to have him as #1, which might reflect well on Jason Witten and Dak Prescott, or on Des Bryant, who are very physical receivers at the point of catch. All right, I think we're getting closer with him. I think he's probably still too high at 81. Being stubborn. All right, I'm cool with 80. Yes, I absolutely think Jimmy G will live up to his contract. I think he is going to be one of, if not the face of the NFL very quickly. Primarily because he's so good looking. Jerry was like a converted safety, pretty sure. From Nebraska, right? Yeah. Kruger Hill actually got involved this year, which is exciting because he's such a freak. God, look at that. I'll go with like... might be a touch high. Let's see. He has a good pass coverage grade. Run defense is kind of whatever. Maybe we just lower his... I really hope Madden adds next year some way to like... just add like a bandit position. Instead of free safety, strong safety, just do free safeties and do... you know, call it whatever you want. You could call it NB for that's nickelback. NLB, nickel linebacker. And then you can put all these hybrids in there. God, Patrick Robinson, 87. We'll never get over this. How EA can't differentiate between a nickel corner who grades out well and an actual good cover corner, which Patrick Robinson is not. Look at those coverage ratings. That is absurd. Ugh. Did he have a good year? Yes, he did have a good year. But it's ridiculous. That's making him like one of the best corners in the league. Oh, I gotta go. I forgot about adding block shed for corners, which I haven't done in the past. See, there you go. 53 block shed for a guy who was one of the best nickel corners in the league this year. Boy, Darby did not look good in that Super Bowl, did he? Wonder what his rating was for that game. Actually, not as bad as I would have guessed. I'm just gonna, for all these corners, the first thing I'm gonna do is just look at their block shed. That's good. This needs to go. I mean, he has so much burst. It's incredible. His athleticism is off the charts. I just think he needs more craft to his game. 72 might be a little too strong, though. For 5'11", 193, that seems a little high. What was his 40 time, I wonder? they're definitely too harsh on the agility of some of these guys. Like, the reason a good corner is good is because of his agility and his rare ability to turn his hips. So Darby, 4.38 40. Yeah, geez, 6.9 4 3 cone and a 4.14 20-yard shuttle. And they have him at 90 agility. That's crazy. I think he actually deserves 94 agility, to be honest. It's a little. I'll just stick with 93s across the board. Would Jalen Mills play well at safety? That's a good question. Hasn't he done that in the past? Maybe not. For some reason, I'm thinking he did at one point at LSU, maybe? No. He may be okay at safety. I don't know. I feel like a lot of corners you could say that about. We got an Alabama quarterback situation question. I like Tua. I think he'll beat out Hurts. He's got a ways to go before I say he's NFL ready or going to be a good NFL prospect, but I think you got to go with Tua. I think Hurts has had his chances. I think they actually kind of nailed that there. Definitely better in man coverage. Why does he have 59 toughness? So random. Yeah, apparently. Jeez. Yet they gave him 72 strength when he should not have that good of strength. His press is terrible, but his strength is good. And his toughness is awful, and he doesn't have a high motor. Just the inconsistency in these ratings just drives me insane sometimes. All right, let's see. Jalen Mills, 79 is definitely too high, but he did have some good games this year. Why can't I find him? Very much an average rating. I think he should get about a 74. This can go up, though. I'm definitely not opposed to upping corner block shed in this because of how ridiculous outside blocking is in this game. Like screens and stuff. Mills. Definitely still somewhat of a project. Good in man coverage and press, I would say. Let's see. So that can come down. Let's see. What does that do for us? One higher than I want. That ought to do it. There we go. One second, guy. I gotta pee. Guys, I gotta pee. All right, we're getting there, guys. This one's definitely taking longer than the other ones have and hopefully will. But I love the interaction. Been having fun doing this. Do hope you guys are just throwing this on in the background and listening to me. Jack, it sounds like you're literally sitting down watching this whole thing, which is just mental, but props to you. I wouldn't say the Eagles need any players to step up. I think they're fine with the results of the year. That's funny about DeAndre Hopkins. Rasul Douglas. West Virginia, right? Yep. He got on the field but did not play very well. I didn't really like him coming out either. Geez, 82 agility? Why is that so low? Let's see. Maybe he had just like a... His 3-cone was under 7 seconds. Constant head shaking with EA's ratings. Constantly. If anything, he's much better in short distances than long distances. He ran a 4.59. 6'2", 209. Probably come down a little bit. Okay. I guess he did 16 bench reps, so that's pretty impressive. We'll give him one back. This is definitely coming down. Seems a little high. What's his block shed, I wonder? Sidney Jones. He did not play, correct? Didn't make it back in time? Oh, he did play. He played 29 reps. Week 17. Pretty all right. I think 73 is pretty fair for him. But this is definitely on my list of things I want them to adjust, is the agility for corners. Because when you think about it, they're matching up with receivers who are stronger on average, but it's their agility that makes them corners and not safeties, you know? And like, really when I think of agility, I think of both how quick can you pick up your feet, but also can you turn your hips? And that's what being a corner is all about. Most corners in this game should have better agility than speed and acceleration. And I'm actually going to write that down right now on my list of Madden 18 wish list stuff, so I don't forget. Because this definitely applies as well to the draft class, the custom draft classes that come in. But I am just going to keep checking 3 cones and stuff and just... Because if they did come out and have a terrible agility workout, then it makes sense. But I feel like Sidney Jones moves pretty well. I think that strength is a little high as well. What do they have his block shed at? I did see that. That's... To say clearly, definitely not. What's up, Madden Mobile Savage? Are you watching this while you poop? '81 jumping. 33.5-inch vertical. Maybe they just lowered his agility because of the Achilles injury. I don't know. Well, I'm glad I can provide you entertainment while you sit upon your ceramic throne, Mobile Savage. I don't think White. I don't think I would say he played quite a bit in the slot. I think he did a lot of moving around. Let's be honest, they were both freaking good. Like, those are two of the better rookie corners we've ever seen. But I think Lattimore's better. His stats, like 46% completion percentage against, didn't give up a touchdown all year to his 5 interceptions. That's unheard of. Like, he was so good. Did this guy play? Probably not. Devontae Bosby. No. We'll just leave you. Unless he's a free agent. Let's see. I think he's a free agent. Might have to release him. Why am I not seeing him on the Our Lads depth chart? They have DJ Killings. I don't see Devontae Bosby. Let's see, what does Roto World have him at? They're usually pretty up to date. Unsigned free agent. We're going to let you go. I like Ramsey more than Boye. I do think Ramsey is probably the number 1 corner heading into next year. I think Patrick Peterson's still there, but I think Ramsey's taken the throne. I think Ramsey's prime this year was better than Patrick Peterson ever was. But I also don't think Peterson ever had the pass rush in front of him that Jalen Ramsey had. I think Ramsey's a little more physical, which is a little more intimidating for receivers. How was Rodney McLeod this year? Just okay. Regardless, we got to fix the hidden rating for every safety. Geez, 43 block shed for a safety? That's crazy. I mean, he was not good in run defense this year, but... Watch, after all this, he'll probably go up. Nope, just what I wanted. Corey Graham's actually very similar. Perfect. I do think these guys deserve a little boost to their pass rush moves, though, just as safeties. I don't know why. Maybe it is just because it's the Cowboys fan that does these, but they play safety for a reason. They can get off blocks better than corner. And both their pass rush grades are at least average. See, McLeod actually has them. Chris Maragos. He missed the whole year, right? How has he been in the past, though? I feel like this is a little low. I know he's kind of a special teams guy, but... He didn't really play much last year either. He didn't play at all last year, so we'll leave him here. But we do have to get rid of the hidden rating, I guess. Just trying to catch up in the chat here. Yeah, Hayward and Slay are really good. Hayward's definitely the most skillful corner in the league. I think his technique and just instincts are the best. Xavier Rhodes is good. I tend to be lower on him than a lot of people. I don't think his technique is flawless. I think he holds a lot, and some games it bites him in the ass. Sometimes he gets away with it. But I think he's definitely top 10, worth the contract he just got. He's right there with Jalen Ramsey in terms of, like, freaky athlete. He's right on that border for me. Did you guys see how good Malcolm Jenkins was in that Super Bowl? This guy has always been underrated in Madden. What do they have Madden anyway? Because he was in my most atrocious Madden ratings video. I think he was an 85 then, so they must have raised him once. It's just insulting. He plays for a pretty bad secondary, and they ask him to do literally everything. He's their best cover guy. He's the best run defender in their secondary. They move him around everywhere. And that hit he put on Jenkins or on Cooks, gosh. This dude definitely just goes in that list of, like, top 10 most badass players in the league for me. Normally I'd say 85 hit power, but because of that hit on Cooks, we'll raise it 1. and he plays every snap of every game. He played every single snap that the Eagles had on defense in the playoffs. That's crazy. That deserves 99 stamina and clutch if he doesn't have it. Yep, he's got it. Question is 92 even enough? I think 93. I think he's earned that. Kevin Byard. Look, Byard, great year. Could be good. He's not an 89 overall, which is what they have him at. Harrison Smith this year was the best. I would still take Earl Thomas and Eric Berry over him in a heartbeat. And I would... It's a toss-up between him and Malcolm Jenkins. I think they're incredibly similar. I think Harrison's a little better in run defense, and I think Jenkins is better in coverage. Yeah, Byard is absolutely not in my top 10 safeties. Top 10 safeties of 2017? Sure. But going forward, I would not expect him to do what he did again. I think he could be HaHa Clinton Dix. I seriously doubt he's ever going to be Eric Berry, Malcolm Jenkins, Earl Thomas. All right, what am I looking at? Jones Quarty. Did he even play? He used to be on the Bears. I'm not seeing that he played. I feel like this could be a pretty bad rating here. That's going to change a lot. Let's see, what's his story? He's not even coming up when I search him on PFF. Is he even on this team anymore? Can't find him anywhere. He's not on Roto World. He is currently a free agent, so we need to release him. And yeah, didn't play a single snap for anyone, so this is definitely way too high. And I gotta take a phone call here. Yellow. Okay, just go. I'm good. See ya. Roommates are going to T-Bell, and I'm good. Don't think he was ever even on the Eagles. That's who knows how he got on there and why he's a 72 overall. I mean, the dude was cut by the Bears, let's be honest. I do remember when he played for the Bears. There's at least that. But I don't think there's anything special about this guy. Last player here, guys. That was a long-ass edit. Wow. .76 strength for Jalen Watkins, really. That seems a little crazy to me. Especially if Malcolm Jenkins only has like 73 strength. I'm actually going to look at the top strength ratings for safeties here. Cam Chancellor with 82. That is about right. But I also think that means I could raise Malcolm Jenkins even just a little more. Because if all these safeties have... And it makes sense. The safeties in general are similar size to receivers, so their strength should be on par. But why is Jalen Watkins have such good... Did he just rip off like 20 bench reps? Let's see. I can't say enough how dumb I think it is that they go only off of bench reps for strength. Yeah, he had 22 bench reps. But he's only 194 pounds. So good for you. You've got good stamina and can get those bench reps off, but you're clearly hiding something in your legs if you're only 194 pounds. Football's not just about your chest. It's about everything. Underrated is how well you can use your core and your posterior, but that doesn't get talked about very often. It's a big trend in the industry right now, is going away from traditional strength training and towards like plyometric training, Pilates, TRX, yoga, all that stuff. It's becoming way, way more important to strengthen your core so that you're using every little muscle in your body. The players that don't train that can fall behind pretty quick. Almost 3 hours for this. Woo! We're definitely going to get shorter on the next ones. But I'm not going to say definitely, because if everyone keeps asking questions and I got to keep looking up stuff. But that's all right. You can hop in and out. It doesn't really make a difference to you guys. You don't have to watch. It's going to take me forever to do this stuff anyway, so... This is the last guy here, so we're going to go get some Chipotle. We're going to eat the Chipotle, and then we're going to come back and do the Vikings, thanks to Alvin, first ever Patreon supporter. We're going to do the Vikings, thanks to you, and if you guys want to see your team sooner rather than later, if you want to guarantee that you get to see your team, because I might not live stream every single team, although I'm going to try. I can't promise that I don't get any technical difficulties or anything, but head over to Patreon in that link, and let me know that you did so and who your team is and who you want to see. But we'll do Vikings next. Make sure we save before we get out of here. I reckon I'll be back. I just said reckon. I might be a first on that franchise guy. I will probably be back in about 30, 40 minutes. So peace out, guys. It's been fun. Looking forward to doing more.